So I was at a PT appointment earlier this morning, and I was talking with her about, she has a book coming out, and it's about grief, because she has this very compelling personal grief story, and she wanted to share what she had learned on her process of learning how to grieve and what that's done for her. And it got me thinking about, my own grief story, and just how I'm actually in a place now where I can be grateful for the experience of grief. And I wanted to share that because it may not be entirely obvious to you that grief has such a wonderful after effect when you allow it to happen. And I resisted it for basically my whole life until a couple of years ago. And I got the need for it shoved in my face when my dad died. And then I kind of had to feel it. That's what really brought it home for me, you could say. But before that, I had not really grieved. And it wasn't because I didn't have anything to grieve about. Now, you don't have to have you don't have to have your dad die in order to have a need to grieve. Things that might justify grieving could include, but are not limited to, a relationship ending, a pet dying, moving to a new city, a new neighborhood, recognizing that a particular era of your life has ended and you've moved on to another one without really realizing that, it's different now. And I don't get it. I don't get to have it the way I used to have it. I didn't even grieve my grandparents dying. And part of that is, I think, because I was not very emotionally in touch when that happened. And part of it is because I didn't have as close of a relationship with my grandparents as I really should have had, partly due to geographical distance and partly due to just relationship and, alcoholism, things like that. But basically, I went until I was, 36 before I actually got the experience of grieving. And at first, I was grieving, but it wasn't particularly productive, I would say. I would cry a lot, but it didn't necessarily lead me somewhere. It was kind of just like a loop, a song on repeat. And, every week or two I'd have to grieve, but then I'd be right back to where I started again. And it wasn't until I got really in contact with, people that knew what it was that needed to happen in order for grief to be moved and not just stuck there. And specifically, that was an organization called Cascadia Quest. And they put on, among other things, these grief rituals, which I think if I asked most people, most Americans, hey, what do you think about what would you think about attending a grief ritual? I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? What? I'll go to a funeral, but that's kind of it. And that's where it ends for them. Oh, hey, freedom.
Dylan,
Yeah, I'm doing a video. Do you mind? Hi. You know what's funny? I have been willing us to meet. This was like a week ago. You're late.
Interesting. Well, I've been gone a lot for the last 2.5 years.
What have you been doing?
Over in Bend.
What are you doing in Bend?
Well, my parents got sick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks. And then eventually both passed. My dad last May.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Okay. I literally am talking about grief on this video. That's. Thank you, universe.
There it is.
Holy shit. Hey. How you doing?
I'm getting used to grief being a regular part of my life.
This is uncanny.
Yeah. Turns out a lot of us are grieving all the time, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
Or maybe it would be helpful if we were grieving.
Yes.
More.
Yes.
My favorite soundbite that I've heard about grief during all this is grief is the deepest expression of love.
Yeah.
And when I remember that, it makes it a lot easier to grieve. It's like I don't want to miss anything.
Oh. Can I share something on that? So one of the things that got me recently when I was grieving was I acknowledged to myself in the moment that me losing my dad was actually justification for as much grief as I felt. Because I kind of wanted to deny to myself that I deserved to feel that much grief. Like it wasn't a big enough deal in a way. I don't know, that doesn't explain it, but it's sort of like I basically came to accept, I was like, no, this is a big deal. This is a life-changing, life-shattering thing. I can grieve this as big as I feel like I need to feel.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was kind of holding back, like it's not like my whole family died or something, but instead I was like, no, I can grieve that, and I can, and it could be monumentally big in my grief. Yeah, and so I gave myself permission to actually grieve. Like, yes.
And my father's loss was the one that I already knew that about. Like I'd experienced what you're describing a number of times because it was this whole series of losses.
Yeah.
The yoga center, a career, a good friend, a colleague, my stepmother, and then my father. And so I had gone through that with certain things, professionally and personally.
Yeah.
And had gone through that same experience of, well, it's not like you lost your leg in Iraq.
Right.
So I was like,
you're judging yourself.
Yeah. And I have a counselor teacher who really I've been working with almost a decade, who's just really is great helping me do all that stuff. That's why I changed my name to Freedom, in fact. It's a willingness to feel anything.
Beautiful.
That's the key to freedom.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to feel certain things, your world shrinks right then. I'm not going to go there because that'll remind me of, or I might see such and such. That's a weird crowd. So our world shrinks. So if we want to be truly free, we have to be willing to feel anything that comes up, including grief. So I've been exploring a lot of this, and then when my father passed, and my father was my hero, I had the best dad. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky I had the best dad, you know? And for 54 years of my life, I had the best dad. So when it came time to grieve him, I didn't have to go through that part of it then because I already had. And like you said, just fully grieve. Why not? If not this.
If not now, why? Yeah, exactly.
Whatever am I going to fully grieve without the loss of my father?
Yes. Oh, that's exactly the way I felt.
Yeah. You had a good relationship with your father?
Yeah. Hey. Oh my God. No.
India.
Really? And like I said, like borderline creepy, uncanny. So I know you did a vision quest with Cascadia Quest.
No.
Or no, it was with somebody else.
Yes. This teacher that I'm telling you about.
Oh. For some reason I knew you'd done one, and then I found out that Cascadia Quest does them, and I just assumed that you had done it with them.
No, I did it with Radiant Life Center with Louis Carosio and Trinity.
I'm not familiar with them, but cool.
And I've done, gosh, now I lost track. I didn't think I'd ever lose track. 6 or 7 at this point, and I have different roles now than I did in the beginning.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so it's but I haven't done the Cascadia Quest one because I'd already my first one that came up for me that sort of arose.
Oh, I'm not even pointing it at us. Yeah.
Was oh yeah, that's it. I need not look further.
Yeah.
For the you know, the context of the experience, of course. The context is super well done. They're done now. He did them for like 35 years. So those events are finished. But it goes on, like some of us are getting a sweat lodge together to do that.
Really?
To sort of get together.
Oh my God, I've got to get involved.
Yeah, so it's coming up.
Yeah.
I have you in my phone from the last time we talked about this very thing.
Which was like
3-4 years ago?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, I went to Cascadia Quest's Tending Male Fire event in Ashland 1 year ago.
Okay.
In May.
Did do that one.
Yes. And it was amazing.
Great.
And then I went back again. They do it twice a year, and I went back again in the same year as a volunteer in October, and it was just so good again. And I don't know if I can make it this time because we just had another kid. And I'm like,
oh, you did?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going again in May, but yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it's good. And I sort of need that. I had to dive into like worldly stuff for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, with my family. And
yeah.
my brother,
Yeah.
with, you know, all the.
Oh, everything.
I mean, it's, you know, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's lately I've been feeling a little Siddhartha-y, just sort of like, oh, you're sort of stuck here in town. And you're something deep down inside. It's like, and by stuck in town, I mean in the more worldly things.
Groceries.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. You're
bills.
handling stuff instead of, I don't know, going out and communing with nature and various other things as much as I'd like to be.
Fasting vision quests.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Getting ready to launch back into that aspect of my life. A lot more coming up soon.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, and I'm sorry, did you say both of your parents passed? In like...
Yes, well, I have 4. My stepmom, who in a lot of ways is more a mother to me, more present in my life.
Yeah.
And available and interactive. We thought she was going to be 100. She was skiing in the Masters World Cup in Canmore, Canada. They lived in Bend 11 months before she died.
Wow.
Pancreatic cancer. It was so fast. Wow. So that happened, and that sort of shocked us because we always thought my dad would go first because my dad was like, I mean, he stepped on a landmine in Vietnam in 1965 and managed to keep his leg. Then he went on to become a fighter pilot. Then, you know, he was California Fish and Game. He was on the California Condor Research and Rescue Team that brought the last wild condors into the captive breeding program and brought them back from the edge of extinction. And my stepmom started an organization with another woman, the Center for Natural Lands Management, that they volunteered for years getting it going. And by the time of her death, that endowment had almost $250 million in it for natural lands preservation.
Wow.
She was a forerunner in the model of migration corridors that Mackenzie River Trust uses.
Okay.
I got to go down to California because apparently one of those nature walks on the side of the highway with the signs, it's always named after someone. They just named one after her. So I got to go down and find it now, go down and see it.
That's amazing.
They were just this remarkable power couple, even in retirement. I mean, they were just such amazing people. And so she passed, and then right after that, grieving with my dad, and we were deep in it, and he was all about feeling this ex-Marine just, feeling everything and nothing left unsaid. And then his cancer came back, Agent Orange related for the 4th time, and there was, put him on a trial, and that beat him up, and it was just time after. He'd had a double bypass at 47, a triple bypass at 63, his shoulder reattached 3 times, he was almost blind and had good surgeries and brought it back. I mean, and I skied with him at 81, the year before he died.
Wow.
He was just still always, we were birding together and active and stuff.
Yeah.
So, they were just remarkable people.
Amazing.
So my parents, and I still have my father and my mother and my stepfather. My mother's. I love my mother. I can't save her. She's challenging to navigate.
Yeah.
You have to keep a healthy distance and kind of check in the ways you can.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's an interesting thing to also sort of comically go, yeah, you took the easy ones, eh?
yeah.
And I mean that with love to my mom and everything.
Yeah.
In a sense of humor, but so I lost my main parental unit within 15 months of each other. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've still got my mom, but.
Oh, good. Enjoy it.
I worry about it though.
Yeah. Well, the way best to worry about it is just to make the most of the time and always remember that it can go at any moment.
Yeah.
And to just don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
You know, now that you lost your father, I'm sure you know that. It's like,
yeah.
It brings our mortality, the time we spend with our kids.
Yeah.
All right to the forefront. And I got to be there with them both when they died.
Yeah.
My wife and I holding my dad's hands.
Really?
For his last breath, and my stepmom right there in the room too. All of us. So who gets that?
I didn't.
Love from their parents, respect from their parents, care from their parents, example.
Yeah.
And then get to be there with them.
Yeah.
Conveniently between careers. And they have resource enough to make that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, who gets all that?
Yeah.
Who gets that?
It's not the way it usually goes.
No, I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
And I recognize that.
Yeah.
And it's still, getting back to grief,
Yeah.
the hardest thing ever.
Right.
With all of that perfect.
Yes.
Here it is, set out in the most perfect possible way, and it's still just a gut punch to end all gut punches.
Yeah. Yes, and for me, it's like even after experiencing, capital G grieving, and then what comes after that, the reward you get after that, even after experiencing that a few times, every time I am grieving, it's like, oh man, I forgot what this feels like. Here it goes again, and it's like a whole new roller coaster. I don't know.
Grieving the country, grieving,
everything.
And interestingly enough, I do need to get back to work because I just remembered I'm going down to the courthouse because I was on a criminal jury recently for 3 weeks. And that's done, but sentencing is happening today. So.
Oh wow!
I was going to go down there. It was its own kind of grieving.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's there all the time.
Yeah.
But what I found is, don't fight it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge what it is.
Yeah.
Don't be shy if someone asks you how you're doing if you're feeling a little off.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little off. Just be, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm always just very open that way.
Yeah.
So if I act strangely, it's right out there.
Right. That's what I'm trying to do.
Because
absolutely.
Our society doesn't really create that space for deep grief. And deep grief can go on for...
Deep feeling of almost any kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our society on average, there was some article said on average, calculating any number of different things would give people about 5 days. I was like, I get the old thing of a year for a good long solid grieving period, like a year. I'm like, I'm 11 months in, and I'm like, oh yeah. And it is starting to shift a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, a year I see why it's a general rule of thumb.
I was just talking with, it was actually our midwife, and she was describing a particular tribe, Native American tribe's grief protocol. It was multi-year.
Yeah.
It was sort of like, and I can't remember if it was like 3 or 4 years, and it was sort of like, there's a process, they know what's going on, and they know what's happening when, and it's gonna take a few years, and then they're like, and then it's done. And we've accomplished what we need to accomplish. And not that it resolves, but it integrates. It
integrates. That's the word that I use. My dad and I both use that after my stepmom passed away.
Yeah.
They don't want resolution. We're like, or closure. I was like, we don't like closure. Neither of us did. And we were talking about integration.
God, amazing.
Yeah.
I'll let you get back to your work.
It's
but
so good to see you,
it was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much. You're very welcome.
Thank you. That was great.
Text me, and I'll send you a link to the video.
That sounds great.
I actually got to turn around now and go back that way. I think
a podcast?
I've burned up all my time. Just a YouTube channel right now.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like a public journal. That's all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, cool. Sweet.
All right. Have a great day, Freedom. Thank you.
Congratulations on your new house.
Thank you. Oh, it's so good. Boy. 2 boys now. 2 boys. All right. See ya. Oh, God, that was cool. I really don't understand how that kind of thing happens. It's amazing. That's the universe working for you, you know? Like, okay. I'm really looking forward to talking to him more. I'm so glad we reconnected. It literally has been like a few years since we've seen each other. And I think it was 2 weeks ago. I was like, you know, I want to run into Freedom again. It's a great name, by the way. I want to run into Freedom again. I was thinking it would happen at the coffee shop. But hey, you know, 2.5 blocks away from the coffee shop. I'll give the universe a free pass on that one. So, what are we, like 2 weeks late and a couple blocks off. But pretty good. Man. Who knew? Manifesting is real. Okay. You know, I'm gonna end on a win there and just kind of sit with how cool that was. And hey, grieving. It's good shit. Okay. I love you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.